Section 2 of Article 2 says that the President must seek the advice and consent of the U.S. Senate for his principal officers. And these are clearly principal officers. These are people who answer directly to the White House, so they get around Congress. And the reason why the Constitution put the safeguard in there is so that we'd have an opportunity to vet people and find out, well, what are their backgrounds?
Well, you say the President is essentially forming a parallel government. How so? What's the relationship with the cabinet secretaries, for example?
Well, when the President appoints a cabinet secretary, not only does the secretary have to go in front of the U.S. Senate, but also his underlings, the deputy secretaries, the undersecretaries, 5 down, in fact, have to do that. And that makes them accountable to the Senate for their budgets, to their philosophies and everything else. These czars don't have to go through that process. So I, as an Appropriations Committee member, never have an opportunity to talk to the Energy Czar, but I do the Energy Secretary. And yet you wonder, well, where does one's job begin and the other one's end? Because you've got 2 people that sound like they're doing the same type of policy.
Who do you think is spending more time talking with the President? The czar or the cabinet secretary?
I think clearly the czars are, really? Because in many cases we know that they answer directly to the President or to his chief of staff, Rahm Emanuel. We know that they do not have to come before the Congressional Appropriations Committee, so they can avoid all of our nitpicking questions like to the stimulus accountability czar. Why did you spend $18 million on your webpage? Might be a relevant question, but we haven't had the opportunity to ask it because they don't answer to us.
Well, let me ask you this. As you know, past presidents have had czars. By our count, these unaccountable puppet masters, as some have referred to them. Here is the list. President Reagan had 3 of them. George Bush had 1 of them. Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush had 1. President Clinton had 3. George W. Bush had 10. And the home run hitter here is obviously President Obama. Is it the idea of a czar you object to, or more than 30 of them that you object to?
Well, I'll have to admit it's a little of both, because presidents have used the title of czar for kind of special task force type people. But when you start getting 34 czars and you've only been in office 8 months or 7 months, it gets worrisome to me as a member of Congress, because why do you need somebody in charge of Guantanamo Bay and the Sudan and the Middle East when you have a Secretary of Defense? Why do you need the Secretary of Energy if you're going to have an energy czar? And the list goes down the line like that. They seem to be duplicating the existing political infrastructure for the President and the executive branch. So I just want to know who these people are. Why does a 31-year-old with no automobile background, for example, why is he the automobile czar? He doesn't know a lug nut from a spark plug. Why is he going to turn around Detroit when none of the GM executives were able to?
Well, I think I can't wait for the answer to that question. Congressman Jack Kingston, thanks for being with us here. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Lou.